When I wake up in the morning and I think about working on voter rights and everything that goes with that, working to build teams, working to bring people along, convince them why this is an important thing. I think of my own very patriotic upbringing. And it started with the fact that my father was an immigrant, and I heard how important it was for him to come to America to enjoy our freedoms. My uncles all fought in World War II, fighting for our freedoms. And so I have a very strong patriotic part of my value system. And so when I'm working on these voting rights issues and toward a more perfect union, if you will, by having a stronger democracy, I feel I am making my contribution. I didn't have to go to war and fight in a battlefield, but I'm working in a different battlefield. It's the battlefield to get the hearts and minds of Americans convinced that we need to work really hard to preserve our democracy. And when I do that, I feel that I've got a real purpose that is one that's very satisfying to me. It gives me great meaning to be able to work on something that I totally believe in. And I know that, and I'm thinking about my own grandchildren, but I also think about other people's grandchildren and what's right for all future generations. We have a wonderful country based on a democracy that's for the common good. And I really strongly believe that's the best thing that we could have. And it's worth fighting for. It's worth working really hard for. This year, Elders for Sound Democracy are really focused on voting rights in several of the key states in our country. And we feel this is really important because all the other issues that we work on as Elders Action Network are very dependent upon having laws in place for we the people. And we've seen in the last year that those rights are threatened in several of the states. And we know that if the voting is suppressed, we're never going to get the legislation and regulation that we need to take on, say, climate change or the huge economic disparity that separates the top 10th% from the other 99.9%. That disparity between the haves and have-nots is only going to grow worse. That's why voting is so important, and it's being suppressed, and we need to take that on. That's why we put it at the top of our agenda of what we're working on this year as elders. We're asking everybody to understand that. And I think when we talk to people, they do. And so there are people that typically would be working on other issues that are taking time to work with us. So you might be asking, how can you help? In each of the states that we're working on, we're basically trying to get in touch with, first of all, the students in the colleges. And there we work with a student affairs director. We work with minorities in their communities, and sometimes it's working through their community centers. We work through the faith congregations, and there it's a matter of providing flyers, both in English and Spanish. We work with people that live in assisted living or retirement communities. And again, we help provide information to educate people. And what we're looking for is people that have different talents that would be interested in helping us. Writing a few postcards is a very satisfying way to help out. And then when you write to a person and that person receives your personal postcard, they feel that somebody cared about me. And so that's a really good way to help somebody with their right to vote. And we're going to work on it throughout the year. We're going to get ready for every primary that comes along in these states. We're going to help people register to vote. And we're going to help them if it's they have the ability to vote early. We will help them with that. And we will make sure that they have ways to go to the polling places when it's election day. And we are going to work, and we are working tirelessly to make this happen.